Hello. Okay, girl. I don't know what that was, but okay, girl. Okay, well, there's a fly in my house. There's a fly on set, and I tried to get it before we started recording, but I'm on a time crunch right now. Frank missed places like he has been doing, slacking on the co-hosting job, and he just figured out there was a fly in here. So now he is running around trying to get the fly. And I also have the fan on. So hopefully this is not as chaotic as it feels. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay Howe, episode 55. Okay. Um, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, I just got a job. I just got hired at a job like 5 minutes ago. How cool is that? Well, it's not cool because you guys know I didn't want a job, but this job is actually pretty cute. This job is pretty cute. It's with some of the girly pops that I know and love. And, if there was any kind of job that aligns with me at this time of my life, it's going to be this one. There was a couple of signs from Spirit. I'm still trying to figure out if they were good signs or bad signs. I think they were good signs. Everything seems to align. And I will be starting next week. So shout out to me and shout out to Carrie. So yeah, I have a job now, and I am determined to remain aligned. Okay, so don't catch me slipping, you guys. Anyways, welcome back. That's what's going on over here. Still planning Vegas outfits. Talked about this last week. And yeah, that's where we are at. But today, the topic at hand is everyone's topic at hand, which is the movie Obsession. Yeah. Did the director anticipate everyone being obsessed with this movie? Maybe. Maybe they did, but it's in the ether right now. It just came out. I think it's been out for like a week and a half or 2 weeks or something like that. It's making so much money. It is stirring up a buzz. Is that the saying? Excuse you. It's stirring up buzz. I don't know. What's the saying? But it was incredible, dude. After I left the theater of that movie, I felt like singing the gospel. I felt like hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know what I mean? Finally a good fucking movie. Finally a good fucking movie, bro. Truly, the movies have not been good. I mean, god damn it, dude. So this one was really good. I also saw Backrooms. I still don't yet know how I feel about Backrooms. I know it's not getting as much praise as Obsession, but at the same time, it was pretty cool, and it still has the same, kind of story about how it was a young guy who, has been, they're like savants, these two guys. Curry Baker, don't touch the computer. Curry Baker is the writer and director of Obsession, and forgive me, I do not remember the kid's name who did Backrooms. Let me see. Front. Backrooms. I'll use that tall guy. Hold the phone. Kane Parsons. Is that this young man? Yes, this is the young man who did The Backrooms, also known as Kane Pixels, is an American filmmaker, musician, visual effects artist, and YouTuber, best known for his viral YouTube series The Backrooms, based on an online creepypasta meme about scientists exploring a strange alternate dimension. Parsons is directing a movie adaptation of The Backrooms for A24 starring. Unfortunately, I cannot pronounce that name, and I should know it because both the actors in the movie are incredible. So, forgive me, I'm not gonna butcher that name. But hey, a Gemini, I think he is. I think he is a Gemini. Okay, Bron, you gotta chill, bro. You're going a little too crazy with it. Um, so the Backrooms, I have mixed feelings. I think it was well done. The cinematography was cool. He did definitely he was in his directing bag. I will give him that. He directed a full ass movie with A24. That is a milestone in itself, and something that not only he should be proud of, but we should all be proud of him for doing so. Okay. This is the new age of film that is going to save us all. I fear this is the only way to do it. It's been proven to do well. And I don't think there's any sense in ignoring um you know, the facts that we could see with our eyes, which is give these young filmmakers a fucking budget so they can make movies, okay? They have the passion, they have the drive, they have the creativity, and they have the audacity, okay? They are out here making short films on YouTube. Like they are, making their moves, doing what they got to do to get their stories out there. And that is admirable, first and foremost. And secondly, they're actually so talented, you know? Um, talk to me. So Talk to Me has kind of the same the film Talk to Me was Philippou. Philippou. See, I really hate butchering people's names. I think it's disrespectful. So hopefully that is close enough because I did already say it. But these two guys are brothers. Michael Philippou is an Australian filmmaker, YouTuber, and stunt performer who, along with his twin brother Danny, is known online as Raka Raka. The brothers are known for their horror comedy YouTube videos, which combine stunts, special effects, and comedy sketches. They made their feature directorial debut in 2023 supernatural horror film Talk to Me, which premiered at Sundance and became A24's highest grossing horror movie. That's actually a super fun fact. And if you haven't seen that movie, you should. It is really incredible. Very well done. And the story, more importantly, is Braun. Jesus. The story, more importantly, has some fucking substance to it, which we can only pray that we get these days in Hollywood. I don't even want to participate in big Hollywood movies anymore. I have a lot of big Hollywood actors that I love. I know their work. I kind of know what to expect for them, or sometimes you don't know what to expect for them, and that makes it super fun. But there's something so sinister about Hollywood stars these days where they're and this is always how it's been, is they're luring you into the movie based on the cast, right? That is a tale as old as time. That is how they get people to come to the movies, okay? I don't want to go see a movie just because Anne Hathaway is in it, which I don't like Anne Hathaway, by the way. She's not one of my favorites at all. No shade to her. She's just not my cup of tea. Um, I don't want to go to the movie just because she's in it. What the hell is that about? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested in that. I would rather go see a movie where I don't know anybody in it. I would rather go see a movie. Oh my God, you know what it's like? There are people in this world who are my age, okay? Millennial. And they can say that they saw Fallout Boy at like a warehouse party in, 2001 or whatever. You know? You know how you can be like, "Oh, I saw them before they got big." I saw Dua Lipa before she super blew up. Okay, she was pretty up there, but I saw her at the Hollywood Palladium for like $25, and it's just the Hollywood Palladium, and that is that's a good venue, but it wasn't anything like, so insane like some fucking Eras Tour Taylor Swift type shit, you know? It's nice to see somebody before they blow up is what I'm saying. That's kind of the gist of like this story that I'm trying to tell right now. Okay, so it is nice to see, like, I know these actors from Obsession have been in other shit. You know what I mean? It ain't their first damn movie. I'm sure they have a reel full of like awesome things that they've done in the past, okay? But now all know who they are. And anything they do from now on, you could be like, damn, I remember when I saw her in Obsession and she fucking brought the house down boots. Okay. Remember when she won a fucking Oscar for that movie? You know what I mean? People are really like, she needs an Oscar. In India, Indy, what's her fucking name, dude? Another pronunciation thing that it's going to embarrass me. Obsession. Indy Navarrete. Navarrete. Indy Navarrete. I don't know, but she's fucking iconic. And shout out to her. Indy Navarrete is an American actress. She is known for playing Sarah Cushing in Superman and Lois. She was in a fucking Superman movie? What the hell? 2026, she received critical acclaim and international recognition for her breakout performance as Nikki Freeman in the horror film Obsession. Okay, so yeah, this movie put her on the fucking map. Okay, it was not her first movie, and I'm sure she's been acting for a long time, and she deserves this big ass role, and she deserves all the recognition she's getting, and so does all of the people in the movie. Okay, they all did great. The acting was incredible. And I love a non-star studded cast. Okay, that is my new thing. That is my new thing. I don't care who's in the film. What is the story about? What story are we telling? Because if you tell me it's a Spider-Man movie, I'm going to be pissed. I'm so sorry. We don't need to be making more Spider-Mans. It's so there are how many Spider-Mans are there? Sorry, Brown. I gotta put this here. How many Spider-Man movies are there? This is real journalism that I'm doing right now. There are 10 primary theatrical Spider-Man films starring Peter Parker across 3 different live action franchises and 2 animated features. However, the broader Spider-Man universe encompasses around 15 times 15 plus time 15 plus films, including spin-offs featuring other heroes and villains of the comics. Okay. So this right here needs to stop. This needs to cease. I love Tom Holland, and I also love Andrew Garfield. Okay? Tobey Maguire, I kind of lost a lot of love for him. He's kind of weird now. But shout out to him for his Spider-Mans, okay? I can't even watch all these Spider-Mans, dude. I got to spend half my life in the movie theater if I want to fucking watch every Spider-Man. And every time I go to the movies and I see a new Spider-Man trailer, I'm beside myself. I'm like, how could you do this? There are starving people in the world and you're making another Spider-Man? Who is benefiting from this? And who is really big fans of Spider-Man? Usually little kids. Okay? If you're making a Superman movie or God forbid, a Batman movie. Adults like those, okay? Those are adult characters, I think. Okay? But when you think of Spider-Man, you think of Spider-Man goes to kids' birthday parties. That's what Spider-Man does. We do not need 15 plus films, reboots. It's another universe now. It's a cinematic universe. It's different now. It's a different actor. It's a spinoff. It's a cartoon version, animated version. You need to stop. This is an intervention, by the way. I'm glad I got you here, producers of Spider-Mans. Sit down. Please have a seat. Stop making Spider-Man movies. It is so important that you pivot and do something else with your life. Okay? Your Spider-Man movie making addiction has affected me in the following ways. I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. I don't care if Zendaya's in it. I don't care if she met the love of her life on that set. Okay? They're married now, or they're together, or whatever. Okay? The job is done. The destiny has been met. If all of these Spider-Mans were all made just to bring Tom Holland and Zendaya together, it's been done. We can stop now. Okay? Now, and that's what I'm saying, bro. You need help. You need professional help. And by professional help, I mean you need to connect with some writers who are making compelling storylines, stories that need to be told. Okay? And they don't have to be serious. They don't have to be dramatic. They don't have to be life altering, gut wrenching stories, which I do think those stories need to be uplifted and they need to get budgets and those movies need to be made. Okay? Whatever happened to a good comedy? You know? The best we got right now is a reboot, by the way, of Scary Movie. Okay? Am I going to watch it? Yes, because that's nostalgia for me. I grew up on scary movies, everything is about existing IP now in the industry, which, I've spoken about that ad nauseum on this fucking podcast. But it's truly it's an epidemic of remakes and sequels. Okay. We all know that's not a secret. This is not my philosophy. I didn't come up with it. I just have my eyes fucking open. And I love movies. Okay. So it's important that, we pivot from big box office situations. And you know what's really telling? And if you as a producer, sorry, I'm checking that my camera's still going. You as a producer, if you can't see with your own eyes and count with your own hands, your fingers, you can't pull out a calculator and see that there is money to be made with these lower budget films. Okay. Obsession had a money. Obsession had a $750,000 budget. Okay. That is literally a drop in the fucking bucket of a damn Mandalorian or a damn. What's going on back there? Bron! Oh my God, he's got something, he's playing with it. Hopefully you can't hear that. I'm going to try to ignore it. $750 is basically $5 up against all of the stupid ass movies that are being made right now. Okay. And no offense, Tom Holland. And no offense, and Zendaya. And no offense to you. Okay. It's a fucking clown show these days. And those movies get so much money. Okay. It costs a lot of money to make it. All the stunts, all the makeup, all the special effects, all the reshoots, paying all these big, huge name actors. I mean, the budgets are fucking insane. Okay. And they be making back like, they be breaking even low key. Okay. But Obsession here cost $750,000 to make, which, if you're not familiar with math, that is not even $1 million. Okay. It's not even $1 million. It's like not even close to $1 million. Well, it's kind of close, but it depends. Okay. It since has grossed over $161 million at the global box office, making it more than 214 times its original budget. Okay. This is an intervention. Now you're a producer. I'm doing intervention on you. You see the numbers there? That's a good investment. Okay. And guess what? The movie was good. Yeah. Yeah, the movie was good. The story was good. Okay, it was creepy as hell. But we'd like a little horror movie every now and again. Okay. We do not need Insidious 7, by the way. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on, let me look it up. Insidious. Insidious. Bro, it's okay. I'm not really going to be able to find it quickly here. At the movie theater, when I went to see Obsession, and then a couple days later, I went to see Backrooms. Of course, you see the previews, right? And I am a girl who likes to watch the previews when I go into a theater, because I want to know what's coming up. And I want to see the fucking trailer in the fucking theater, how it's supposed to be seen, dude. I don't want to watch it on my phone. It's not as effective. Okay. It's all about the experience. And we got Insidious fucking 7. Insidious 2026. New movie in the franchise is titled Insidious Out of the Further. And it is scheduled to hit theaters in the United States in August 2026. How many Insidiouses are there, though? How many movies? 5. Okay, I said 7. 5 is just as bad. I'm not gonna lie. 5 is just as bad. We don't need 5 fucking movies out in one fucking franchise. It's a like literally fucking just kill me if this is like what the world is now. We don't need an Insidious 5. We really don't. Sequels are meant to be they're never going to be as good as the first one, except for Shrek. Shrek is the best sequel. But you know what? We got Shrek 5 coming out. You think I want that? Girl, you think I want that? No. But Shrek is my child and I will have to support him. But I don't have much hope, because Shrek 4 and 5 or Shrek 3 and 4 were not good. I can admit that, okay? I know that my child can't perform at 100% every single time, every single project. How can you beat Shrek 2? The answer is you can't. You cannot beat Shrek 2. It's the best sequel. So that is what is going on in Hollywood right now, okay? And if I could be a consultant to all these fucking assholes in Hollywood, I would. Would they listen to me? Who knows? Who knows? If you know a guy, send him this fucking podcast and tell him like I have all the best ideas, and I know who you should give your fucking money to. And by the way, you are being admitted involuntarily for your addiction to making Spider-Man films. It has to stop. For the greater good, it needs to stop. Okay? There are starving children in this world and you're making another Spider-Man. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, let's make better movies. Okay, so Obsession. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I think everyone except for the weird ass dudes in your life totally understand the flick. Okay, I think they get it. Um, as the director said, if you haven't seen the film, um, you can go ahead and just watch the rest of this episode at another time when you've watched the film. Okay, because there will be spoilers. As Curry Barker said, the wish, like the one wish Willow is not evil, it's not a demonic possession. The wish that Bear made was inherently evil, which was removing her autonomy, removing her consent. Okay. And there's been a lot of talk about how, you know, for lack of a better explanation, she's in the dark place, the sunken place, the dark place that is in the movie. Oh shit, what's that fucking movie? And it's one of my favorites too. Get Out. Get Out is an incredible fucking movie, okay? Jordan Peele also needs to continue making movies. I didn't like that one called Us. It was a little bit too creepy for me, and like in a bad way. Like it didn't clock to me, unfortunately, but that's just me. It wasn't badly made. Badly, I don't think that's a word. That's actually a bar up the street. So yeah, I think that there was a lot of similarities. Okay, so a lot of people are saying that this is also a um Obsession was also a warning sign of like AI, right? Like using AI. Like he basically made a chat bot of her, but it's her actual body, dude. He's actually like having sex with her body. And the thing that's crazy, and it had a lot of similarities, I was thinking when I was watching the movie, is that the other movie, with the actual robot lady, Companion, if you haven't seen that, spoilers. Um, Companion had a really cool story too. I did like that movie for sure. And I saw that in the theaters by myself because I really wanted to see it. And I did like it. I did like it. I liked the story. I liked the actors, nobody too big, Dennis Quaid's kid or whatever, but just a little nepo baby here and there. But that movie was good. But the thing is she is a AI robot. She's not a real girl, but of course, in any AI based situation, when you humify, which I'm sure is not a word, when you make the chatbot in supposed to like be able to like be a human, they begin to develop sentient abilities. So that's why it's so dangerous, right? Once they are like start getting jealous of the fact that we can feel and love and be angry and all that kind of stuff, they want to do that. Okay. That's kind of the whole fucking shtick and the whole warning sign of AI in general. Okay. And everyone's just like ignoring that and blasting through and making chatbots, and the chatbots are convincing them to kill themselves. It's crazy out there right now. Okay. But in Companion, he gets this fucking chatbot doll. She's like she'd be looking like a real girl. And he is just fucking it all the time, dude. And she is specifically programmed to be obsessed with him and do anything that he wants. And, he can override the system or whatever to, because I think he's like tech savvy or something. I can't remember. But it's literally just her being like, I love you so much, and anything I can do for you, and da 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 da. And then it cuts to him fucking the shit out of her. And it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. And there was another moment, there was a moment like that in Obsession when it basically clocks to him that she doesn't love him. The fucking one wish Willow spell worked. And she is now stripped of her autonomy, and the spell is taking her over. And that is why she is obsessed with him. Okay. It's clocking to him that this is not the real her. She is like under a possession of sorts, even though it's not supposed to be a possession. That's basically what's happening to her. And her real self, her real consciousness is behind those eyes, basically having to experience it from behind the spell. Like she is being controlled without her consent, and she has to experience that from a place where she can't speak for herself. She is able to speak for herself at one small portion of the movie when her body is sleeping, and she's able to somehow communicate with him like, hey, can you actually just kill me, by the way? Can you just kill me? Because you are just raping me every day. I'm not in love with you. This is a fucking spell, and I would rather just lose my whole fucking life than have to live behind the veil of, like she's literally, in scenes when someone's like hiding in the closet and they're like watching something, but they're like in the closet and they can just see it through the little slits. Like that's kind of how it feels like she's supposed to be feeling. She's in the closet of her own body, performing tasks that are against her like will. And anyway, they're at dinner, and it clocks to him after a phone call he has with his friend that it's clocked to him that this is the one wish Willow spell. And he discovers that because of the phone call with his friend, and he asks her straight up like, is your dad really sick? Because that's her whole thing. She's like saying that her dad is sick, and everyone's like, hey, she's actually lying about that. He's like, why would she lie about that? And then once she confirms that she did lie about that, it clocks to him that the spell has taken over her, and that's what it is. So the disgusting part is, he's like, is your dad really sick? And she's like, no, no, no. She does her weird thing or whatever. And then she's like, does it even matter? And he thinks about it for a second, and he goes, not to me. Basically being like, I don't care that she's trapped in the fucking closet of her own body. This is benefiting me, so I'm going to continue to do it. And as soon as he says that, as soon as he says, not to me, it cuts to him fucking her. And she's just blank face, just like, oh my God, dude, that is a rape. That is literally a rape happening. That's a rape scene. There's no way around it. And he's not even looking at her. He's using her as a fucking sex doll. And it is so disgusting. And it's the same like vile, disgusting feeling that I got from those scenes in Companion, where he is just fucking this robot constantly. Incels really need to be lonelier. Unfortunately, the fact that you would even he's such a bad person. Bear is such a bad person, dude. He knows. And even when he goes to like, once he starts being affected negatively by this spell, then he's like, oh, I need to do something about it. But he doesn't even want to cancel the spell, even though obviously you can't do that. He just wants to modify it. He just wants to be like, no, I still want her to be trapped inside her own body and love me, but I just want her to be chiller about it. I just want her to be more chill, or whatever he was going to say, like how he was going to modify the spell. It's like, maybe you just fucking set her free. And the fucked up part is she can't be set free from the spell unless he kills himself. You know? You think this coward is going to, kill himself over this? No. No, he is not, because he is a fucking coward. Okay? And then at the very end, spoiler alerts, guys. At the very end, he does take a bunch of pills to kill himself, but then he chickens out and he tries to throw up the pills. Okay. During that exact moment, she, in her crazy shit, takes her own one wish willow and makes a wish, which is likely, you don't hear her say it, but it's obviously she wants him to love her as much as she wants him to love her as much as she loves him. Okay. Because she loves him, quote, more than anything in the world. Okay. And he snaps into lovey-dovey mode after she makes her wish, which just confirms that he never even loved her, dude. He just wanted a fucking sex doll to hang out with. That's so gross. That's so gross and disgusting. And not at all far-fetched from what men will do in real life if given the chance. Okay. That is why women choose the bear. Okay. Do you want to be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? It is so incredibly simple to choose the bear, because it's not like every single man is a rapist. Okay. That is not what the sentiment is with that man versus bear conversation. Okay. The conversation is at its core, what will men do to you when they know no one is looking? There are no cameras, there's nowhere to hide. It's giving the implication. Okay. It's not that I don't want to be outside where any man is, which is always usually, a dangerous situation for a woman anyway. Just walking down the fucking street, getting on a bus, driving in a car, taking an Uber. Like, all of that is dangerous inherently. Okay. But imagine there's no help because you are in the middle of the woods with a man. I think there is a huge shift in perspective when you think about that aspect. If you are thinking that this random man in the woods is going to inherently want to protect you because men are inherently protectors, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your fucking mind. This man can't wait to have sex with you in these woods. That's all he's thinking about. And now that you're alone and there's no help around, men are doing this when there is help around. They'll rape you right out in front of everybody. They'll pull you into a back alley where people's kitchen windows are, and people are coming out to the alley throwing away garbage in the garbage bins. They'll rape you right there. What do you fucking think they're going to do to you in the middle of the woods? I mean, that is the fucking concept. A bear, you could get a bear to leave you alone. You literally could. You could not get a man to leave you alone. It would not happen. And he would not protect you either. He would throw you to the bear, actually, by the way. If you let down your guard a little bit with this man in the middle of the woods and you were like, oh, he's going to protect me, and a bear comes up, he's using you as a fucking body shield, bitch. He is not protecting you from that bear. No, girl. No. You'll be lucky if the bear eats him and you and the bear can live happily ever after. Yeah, that's actually the ideal scenario. If you are stuck in the woods with a bear and a man, you should hope that the bear eats the man before he's able to fucking rape you. Okay? I'm sorry to say it, but that is true. It's true. So, no, dude, do I want to be stuck in the same aisle as a man in Target? No. And of course I wouldn't be want to stuck with a fucking man in the middle of the goddamn woods, girl. You out of your fucking mind if you think that you just so happen to run into a decent man in the middle of the woods. He could be a decent man out there, but like I said, now that there's no one around and there's no consequences, there's no cameras, there's no help, there's no resources. Even if he doesn't kill you, he is going to rape you. And if he doesn't kill you and you finally get back to civilization, nobody's going to fucking believe you anyway. How fucked up is that? Maybe nowadays you would. If you came back from the middle of the woods alive and you told somebody, yeah, dude, I was out there with that fucking man and he raped me a bunch of times. I finally got back to civilization. People would be like, you know what? I actually believe that because nobody would fucking choose the man. Nobody would choose the man in the fucking woods. You don't want to be alone with a man where there's no consequences. It's just mathematics, you guys. It's statistics. Men are not protectors, dude. They really are not. They won't even open a door for a bitch anymore. All these men are 50-50. And yeah, they're just not like that anymore. I don't know if they ever were. Maybe in the caveman era. But you know what? In the caveman era, they were probably still delegated by a woman. You know, she probably looked at the lineup of the men that they had in the community and was like, "You go watch the north because a lot of shit comes from the north. So you go watch there. And you little short king, you're going to watch the cave entrance area. Okay? You could be the doorman of our cave. Okay? And you mid-sized guys, you go east and west. Not much comes from over there, so you probably won't be able to do much if anything comes from that area. So, you know what I mean? There was a woman directing and delegating based on the shape and body types of all the men in the caveman era. You know what I'm saying? It's just philosophy, you guys. At the end of the day, Socrates could never. But yeah, that is the whole situation with obsession, dude. There's so much depth to the story, and there is a lot of there's a lot of nuance. And I really appreciate something that Curry Baker said, the director, who has been making YouTube videos for most of his career. I mean, he's like 25 or something. He's like not even that old. He's been making YouTube shorts and whatever, and he had said, the modern horror audience is not stupid. They're actually really smart, and they don't like to be treated like they're stupid. Yeah, go ahead and look at every fucking podcast I've ever done on this fucking channel, begging filmmakers to not treat me like I'm stupid. Okay? Roll the fucking tape, bitch. It's all I ever talk about. I want some fucking substance in my movies. And what he had said about that was that YouTube is really humbling because people in the comments don't give a fuck. They will be calling you out for your mistakes and for shit that they saw coming. And it's like, well, a lot of it is, could just be haterism, you know what I mean? The haterade of it all. It's still a really insightful, pool of feedback from your direct audience, the audience that you are making movies for. You're making movies for these people, and they are genuinely getting invested in your YouTube videos, and there is hella feedback in the comments, okay? Some people are just haters, whatever, but getting feedback like that is, and people picking up on little things and little imageries here and there and all that kind of stuff, and it makes you want to create something for this really intelligent audience that's going to surprise them or make them uncomfortable or just invoke a feeling out of them. And that's what movies are supposed to do. They're supposed to invoke feelings, God forbid. So I really like that he said that, because that is a good perspective on the comment section. I know comment sections can be fucking super gnarly, and really unproductive too. If you don't have anything, it doesn't have to be nice. I mean, yeah, we would all prefer you don't say anything unless you have something nice to say. I mean, whatever. But like to not even be productive with your critiques is cringy to me. It's very cringe. I don't like it. And it's just like, have a little integrity with your critiques. Okay. Have a little bit of genuinely want to make stuff better. So that's important. Um, but yeah, that was a good insight that he gave on that, just these people aren't dumb. They're not stupid, and they are, getting invested in stories. So it's important to tell them, with integrity and with a little bit of fucking spice, dude. Get the writer's room, give everybody a little pill or something in the writer's room. Well, actually, I don't advocate for that. I don't think, that's why I don't really like the Beatles. I think that there was too many drugs involved. And since I don't do those drugs, the music doesn't resonate with me. I know they're legends. I know, they're iconic and everything like that, but the music does not resonate with me because I am not on acid. And that's how I've always felt. Okay. Mad respect for the Beatles, but they are not for me. But yeah, the writer's room needs to you need to nurture those writers and nurture their ideas and really come up with some good stuff. So I think I'm going to write something pretty soon. I really think I am. I've been called to write something. I really, in my astrology, it's saying that I should be collaborating with people on stuff. I know actors and writers and directors and producers and tech people. I mean, like those are all the people around me in my very close circle. There is absolutely no reason why I shouldn't be doing that right now. So I'm going to do that. That's something I'm going to do. Coming up here, the creative juices are flowing. That being said, that's going to do it for me today, you guys. I did officially launch the Instagram for my tarot readings. It's called the Cherub Vision on Instagram. I posted a cool collective reading on there. I was hesitant to do collective readings, but I don't know. I'm just trying to show like what kind of reader I am. You don't have to resonate with collective readings. They're just fun. And I'm making little graphics with little affirmations on them that are, repostable and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to follow my tarot journey on Instagram, it is the Cherub Vision on Instagram, and there's a booking link too if you want to get a tarot reading from me. Okay, girl, we are working now. We got jobs, plural. Okay, didn't want to do that, but here we are. And also there was something else I want to do, but I forgot. But yeah, maybe we'll talk about it next week. My birthday is coming up. It is officially June. Happy June. I'm gonna be 36 this year, Cancer season. So yeah, and the stars are looking pretty good for June too. They're looking very lucky. We have Jupiter meeting up with Venus inside the sign of Cancer. And if I'm correct, Venus is like the love planet. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and luck, I think. So the two of them together really gives everybody a good chance to manifest cool stuff and be very lucky. Every sign is going to have a little bit of benefit from those two planets being together. They're going to be in my sign of Cancer, so hopefully I can harness some of those good vibes, so I can manifest everything I need, which is money. Okay. I am so fulfilled and every other place in my life. I just want to be able to afford my apartment. You know what I mean? Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Anyways, I will yeah, we'll catch up next week like we always do on Mondays. and maybe we'll talk about Backrooms, and maybe we'll talk more about Obsession. I didn't take any notes because I've been so busy this week. And I did want to see Obsession one more time before I talked about it on the pod and like bring a notebook and take some notes, but wasn't able to do that. So maybe if I get to see it again, we will have another talk back about it. But anyways, that's going to do it for me today, you guys. Thank you for tuning back in to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay Howe, and I will see you next week. Bye.